Chapter 6. Secrets Unveiled. Marfa sat across from Alex and Melanie in the sitting room, her serene expression betraying the intensity of the revelations she was about to share. She had spent countless hours over the past few days poring over the family's private records, uncovering clues and piecing together the hidden history that had been so carefully guarded. "The chest you found," Marfa began, her voice low and measured, contained powerful magical artifacts linked to your family's lineage. She paused, gauging their reactions. "You see, Alex, your ancestors were not mere noblemen, but wielders of ancient magic, a legacy that has now passed on to you." Melanie's eyes widened, and she instinctively reached for Alex's hand, offering silent support. Alex, for his part, sat in stunned silence, his mind racing to process the implications. "Marfa," he finally spoke, his voice trembling slightly, "are you saying that my family has the power to do magic?" The very idea seemed both exhilarating and terrifying. Marfa nodded solemnly. "Yes, my dear boy. The chest was a repository for your family's most prized magical possessions, artifacts imbued with immense power, and now that they have been uncovered, the forces that sought to keep them hidden have been awakened." As if on cue, a sudden chill swept through the room, and the shadows seemed to lengthen, casting an ominous pall over the space. Melanie shuddered, clutching Alex's hand tighter. "The ghost of your ancestor," Marfa continued, her gaze darting around the room, "has been actively trying to thwart my investigation. It senses the threat that the truth poses to the secrets it has sworn to protect." Alex's brow furrowed, a mix of fear and determination etching across his features. "Then what does this mean for me? For us?" he asked, his voice steadying. "What exactly am I supposed to do with this power?" Marfa's expression softened, and she reached out to gently squeeze Alex's free hand. "That, my dear, is what we must discover together. Your family's legacy is a heavy burden, but also a great responsibility. You have a choice to make. Will you embrace your true nature, or will you shy away from it?" Melanie spoke up, her voice laced with resolve. "Alex, whatever you decide, I'm here with you. We'll face this challenge together." She turned to Marfa, her gaze unwavering. "Please tell us what we need to know." Marfa nodded, a small smile playing on her lips. "Very well. Let us begin." As Marfa delved deeper into the history of the family's magical heritage, Alex found himself torn between disbelief and a growing sense of purpose. The stories she shared painted a vivid picture of his ancestors, powerful witches and wizards who had wielded incredible magic to protect their home and their lineage. For generations, the family's most prized artifacts had been hidden away, secreted within the very walls of the castle. Their purpose was to safeguard the bloodline, ensuring that the power remained in trusted hands. But now, with the chest's discovery, that delicate balance had been shattered. "The ghost you encountered," Marfa explained, "is the spirit of a powerful witch from your family's past. She has remained as a guardian, determined to keep the secrets of your heritage hidden, even at the cost of your own enlightenment." Alex's brow furrowed. Why would she do that? Surely she must have known that one day the truth would come to light. Marfa's expression grew grave. "Your ancestor was driven by a deep fear, a fear that the power she wielded would ultimately be corrupted or misused. She believed that by keeping it hidden, she was protecting your family's legacy and your very souls." Melanie's grip on Alex's hand tightened. "But that's not her decision to make. This is Alex's heritage, his birthright. How can she justify denying him that?" "Ah, but therein lies the crux of the matter," Marfa replied, her voice tinged with a hint of sadness. "Your ancestors' actions, while rooted in good intentions, have had consequences far beyond her control. The magic she sought to protect has become a curse, weighing heavily upon your family for generations." As Marfa spoke, the shadows in the room seemed to shift and swirl, as if the very air was charged with unseen forces. Alex felt a chill run down his spine, and he instinctively tightened his grip on Melanie's hand. "So what happens now?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. "If this ghost is hell-bent on keeping the truth hidden, how can we possibly confront her?" Marfa's expression hardened, a steely determination flashing in her eyes. "We must be prepared to face her head-on. The time has come for you to embrace your true power, Alex, and reclaim your family's legacy. Only then can we hope to break the cycle of fear and secrecy that has plagued your bloodline for so long. Alex felt a surge of trepidation, but Melanie's unwavering support beside him gave him the courage to nod resolutely. Then that is what I must do. I'm ready to face whatever comes, with you both by my side. Marfa's lips curled into a proud smile. Excellent. Now, let us begin your training. There is much to be done, and the ghost will not wait long before it tries to stop us. As the trio rose from their seats, the shadows in the room seemed to grow darker, as if the ancient spirit sensed the impending challenge to its domain. The stage was set for a confrontation that would test the limits of their power and determination, a battle that would ultimately decide the fate of the family's hidden legacy. Chapter 7: The Hunt for Truth. Marfa stood in the castle's dimly lit library, her brow furrowed in concentration as she scanned the ancient tomes lining the shelves. Alex and Melanie stood beside her, the former's hands trembling slightly as the weight of his newfound powers began to take hold. There must be something in these books that can help us locate the missing artifacts, Marfa murmured, her fingers ghosting over the worn spines. The ghost will stop at nothing to keep them hidden. Melanie placed a reassuring hand on Alex's arm, feeling the tension in his muscles. We'll find a way, Alex. Marfa knows what she's doing. Alex nodded, wanting to believe Melanie's words, but the doubt still gnawed at him. What if the ghost is too powerful? What if I can't control this magic inside me? Marfa turned to face him, her eyes warm but resolute. You must embrace your heritage, Alex. The power within you is a gift, but one that also comes with great responsibility. We will face the ghost together, and you will learn to wield your abilities. Steeling his nerves, Alex straightened his shoulders. Then let's begin. What do we need to do? Marfa gestured to the towering bookshelves. These texts hold the key to unlocking the secrets of your family's past. We must search for any mention of the artifacts, their locations, and the spells that might have been used to conceal them. The trio set to work, combing through the library's collection, with Marfa occasionally pausing to perform a ritual or incantation, feeling for the telltale traces of magical energy. Melanie's eyes darted between the pages, her mind racing as she pieced together the fragments of information they uncovered. As the hours ticked by, the castle seemed to grow more restless, the shadows flickering and the air thick with an unseen tension. Alex could feel the hairs on the back of his neck prickling, as if unseen eyes were watching their every move. The ghost is growing nervous, Marfa murmured, her voice barely above a whisper. It knows we're closing in on the truth. Melanie looked up from the tome she was studying, her expression grim. What else can it do to stop us? Marfa's lips pressed into a thin line. Anything it deems necessary. We must be vigilant. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed through the library, and the trio whirled around to see one of the bookcases toppling to the ground, books scattered everywhere. Melanie let out a startled gasp, and Alex instinctively raised his hands, a shimmering barrier of energy forming to shield them from the debris. Marfa's eyes widened, impressed by the display of power. Well done, Alex. You're learning quickly. The ghost's malevolent laughter seemed to reverberate through the room, and a chill ran down their spines. You cannot hide from me, descendants of my line. The power you seek is mine to control. Alex's jaw tightened, his fear giving way to a surge of determination. No, it's mine. This is my legacy, and I won't let you keep it from me. Melanie placed a hand on his arm, her gaze unwavering. We're in this together, Alex. Whatever happens, I'm here. Marfa stepped forward, her eyes narrowing. Enough of your games, spirit. Show yourself, and we shall see who is the true master of this power. The air grew heavy with tension as the trio braced themselves for the ghost's next move. Shadows seemed to coalesce in the corner of the room, slowly forming the outline of a tall, imposing figure. Alex felt a shiver run down his spine as the ghost's piercing gaze fixed upon them. So be it, the ghost hissed, its voice echoing with an otherworldly power. You will learn the true price of uncovering the secrets of our family. With a wave of its hand, the ghost unleashed a torrent of spectral energy, the very air crackling with arcane power. Alex and Melanie instinctively ducked behind the barrier he had conjured, while Marfa raised her own hands, channeling her magic to counter the attack. The library descended into chaos as the three engaged in a battle of wills, spells, and wards, clashing against the ghost's relentless onslaught. Furniture levitated and shattered, windows cracked, and the very foundations of the castle seemed to groan under the strain of the supernatural forces at play. Amidst the maelstrom, Alex felt a surge of power coursing through him, as if the castle itself was responding to his presence. He closed his eyes, letting instinct guide him, and with a sweeping motion of his hand, he summoned a shimmering shield to encompass the entire room, deflecting the ghost's attacks. Marfa's eyes widened in surprise and admiration. "Remarkable, Alex. You're learning faster than I could have imagined." The ghost howled in frustration, its spectral form flickering and distorting as it strained against the barrier. "This is not over. I will not allow you to uncover the family's darkest secrets." Melanie gripped Alex's arm, her expression resolute. "Then we'll just have to find them first. Lead the way, Marfa. We're right behind you." With a nod, Marfa turned and strode out of the library, her robes billowing behind her. Alex and Melanie followed closely, their determination fueling their every step as they delved deeper into the castle's mysteries, the ghost's enraged cries echoing in their wake. The trio moved with purpose, navigating the winding corridors and hidden passages, Marfa guiding them with her intimate knowledge of the castle's layout. Alex's senses seemed heightened, as if the very walls were whispering secrets to him, urging him onward. As they descended into the castle's lower levels, the air grew colder and the shadows darker. Melanie shivered, but she refused to falter, her hand firmly clasped in Alex's. Marfa paused before a heavy oak door, her brow furrowed in concentration. "This is it," she murmured, her fingers tracing ancient runes carved into the wood. "The final resting place of the artifacts." Alex steeled himself, his heart pounding in his chest. "Then let's not keep them waiting any longer." With a deep breath, Marfa pushed open the door, and the trio stepped into the unknown, prepared to face whatever secrets the castle had been guarding for generations. Chapter 8. Battle of Wills. The ancient castle's hallways reverberated with the clash of magical energies, as Marfa and the ghost of Alex's ancestor engaged in a fierce confrontation. Alex, his newfound powers surging within him, joined the battle, determined to uncover the truth about his family's hidden legacy. Marfa's eyes narrowed as she met the ghostly spirit's piercing gaze. "Your time of concealment is over," she declared, her voice carrying a weight of authority. "The artifacts must be returned to their rightful heir." The ghost let out a chilling, otherworldly laugh. "You foolish woman, do you not understand the consequences of revealing our family's secrets? The power contained within that chest must remain hidden, lest it fall into the wrong hands." Alex stood beside Marfa, his heart pounding with a mix of fear and resolve. "This is my legacy, and I will not hide from it any longer," he proclaimed, his voice surprisingly steady. The ghost's ethereal form flickered and contorted, its anger palpable. "Then you shall be consumed by it, just as your ancestors before you." With a sweeping gesture, the ghost conjured a maelstrom of spectral energy, hurling it towards Alex and Melanie. Marfa swiftly erected a shimmering barrier, deflecting the onslaught. "Your attempts to control this power are futile," she said, her hands weaving intricate patterns in the air. "The time has come for the truth to be revealed." Marfa's words resonated within Alex, and he felt a surge of strength coursing through him. Closing his eyes, he reached deep within, tapping into the well of magical energy that had lain dormant for generations. With Marfa's guidance, he directed this power towards the ghost, battering its defenses. The spectral entity howled in pain, its form distorting as it struggled to maintain its grip on the physical realm. "You know not what you do," it screeched, lashing out with tendrils of dark energy. Melanie watched in awe as Alex and Marfa worked in tandem, their combined magical prowess overwhelming the ghost's attacks. She moved to aid them, her own determination fueling her actions. Reaching into the chest, she retrieved a small, glowing talisman, infusing it with her own energy before hurling it at the ghost. The talisman struck the entity with a resonant pulse, disrupting its hold on the castle. The ghost recoiled, its form wavering as it was forced to confront the power of the artifacts it had sought to conceal. "Impossible!" the ghost cried, its voice laced with desperation. Those relics were meant to be lost, their power forever sealed. Marfa seized the opportunity, weaving a complex incantation that ensnared the ghost in a web of mystical energy. "The time has come to reveal the truth," she declared, her eyes burning with an inner fire. "Your reign of secrecy ends here." The ghost thrashed and writhed, its spectral form cracking and fragmenting under the strain of Marfa's spell. "No, I will not allow it," it bellowed, its voice echoing through the castle's halls. Alex, his powers now fully awakened, joined Marfa in the ritual, channeling the strength of his bloodline to bolster the witch's magic. Melanie stood steadfast beside them, her unwavering support a beacon in the maelstrom of arcane energies. The castle trembled as the clash of powers escalated, ancient wards and protections straining to contain the supernatural forces at play. Tapestries billowed, chandeliers swayed, and the very foundations groaned under the weight of the magical battle. Marfa's face was etched with concentration, her fingers weaving intricate patterns as she chanted the words of power. Alex, his eyes glowing with an otherworldly light, lent his strength to her efforts, his body and mind united in the pursuit of the truth. The ghost, its spectral form unraveling, let out a final agonizing wail. The price will be paid." It breathed, its words laced with a note of foreboding. With a resounding crack, the ghost's essence shattered, its fragments dispersing into the ether. The castle fell silent, save for the labored breathing of the exhausted combatants. Melanie rushed to Alex's side, her hands trembling as she checked on him. "Are you all right?" she asked, her voice laced with concern. Alex nodded warily, his gaze meeting Melanie's. I feel different," he admitted, the weight of his newfound power settling upon him. "Everything has changed." Marfa approached them, her expression grave. "The truth has been revealed, but the consequences are yet to be reckoned with," she said solemnly. "The artifacts must be recovered and their power properly safeguarded." Melanie squeezed Alex's hand, offering him a reassuring smile. "We'll face this together, Alex," she said, her unwavering faith in him shining through. "Whatever comes next, we'll be ready." Alex took a deep breath, his resolve hardening. "Then let's find these artifacts and uncover the full truth of my family's legacy," he declared, his voice tinged with a newfound determination. The three of them set out, their footsteps echoing through the silent castle as they embarked on the next phase of their journey, prepared to confront the revelations that awaited them. Chapter 9: The Price of Power. As the magical battle raged on, shaking the very foundations of the ancient castle, Alex knew that he could no longer remain a passive observer. The revelation of his family's hidden legacy had shaken him to the core, but now was the time to embrace it and use it to protect all that he held dear. Summoning his newfound courage, Alex joined Marfa in her confrontation with the ghost of his ancestor. His hands trembled slightly, but his resolve was unwavering. He could feel the power coursing through his veins, waiting to be unleashed. Marfa glanced at Alex, a look of understanding passing between them. "Together we can banish this spirit and reclaim what is rightfully yours," she said, her voice steady and confident. Alex nodded, his eyes filled with determination. "I'm ready." The two of them launched a coordinated assault, their magic weaving together in a dazzling display of light and shadow. The ghost, taken aback by the combined might, lashed out with renewed ferocity, its spectral form twisting and contorting as it fought to maintain its hold. Melanie watched the battle unfold, her heart racing with a mixture of fear and pride. She knew that Alex was finally embracing his magical heritage, and she would stand by him, come what may. As the clash of powers intensified, the castle seemed to tremble with the sheer intensity of the confrontation. Flashes of energy crackled through the air, and the very walls groaned under the strain. Marfa's brow furrowed in concentration, her wrinkled hands moving in intricate patterns as she channeled her magic. Alex, with newfound confidence, mirrored her movements, his eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. The ghost, sensing the tide turning against it, unleashed a final desperate attack, its spectral form surging forward with unbridled fury. But Alex and Marfa were ready, their combined might forming an impenetrable barrier that repelled the spirit's onslaught. With a bone-chilling wail, the ghost was pushed back, its form disintegrating into wisps of ectoplasmic energy. Marfa and Alex continued their assault, their magic weaving together in a mesmerizing dance, until the last vestiges of the spirit vanished, leaving behind an eerie silence. Melanie rushed to Alex's side, her eyes shining with relief and pride. "You did it," she whispered, embracing him tightly. Alex, still reeling from the intensity of the experience, held Melanie close, his heart pounding in his chest. "I couldn't have done it without you and Marfa," he admitted, a small smile playing on his lips. Marfa approached the couple, her expression grave. "The battle may be won, but the true test lies ahead," she said, her voice tinged with solemnity. "The artifacts that were once housed in the chest are the key to unlocking the full extent of your family's magical legacy, Alex." Alex's brow furrowed as he listened to Marfa's words. "What do you mean? What other secrets are there?" Melanie, sensing Alex's growing unease, squeezed his hand reassuringly. "We're in this together, Alex. Whatever lies ahead, we'll face it head on." Marfa nodded, her eyes filled with a mixture of wisdom and concern. "The artifacts are hidden within the very walls of this castle, guarded by ancient magic. To reclaim them and harness their power will be a monumental task, one that will test the limits of your abilities." Alex felt a surge of trepidation, but he also knew that he could no longer turn away from his destiny. "Then that's what we'll do," he said, his voice firm. "I'm ready to take on this responsibility, no matter the cost." Melanie and Marfa exchanged a look, both impressed and worried by Alex's determination. They knew that the road ahead would be arduous, but they were prepared to face it together. As they began the process of restoring the castle and its magical protections, Alex couldn't help but reflect on the weight of his newfound heritage. The ghost's final words had revealed the true extent of his family's legacy, and he knew that he would have to confront it head-on. The artifacts, hidden within the very walls of the castle, held the key to unlocking the full extent of his magical abilities. But with that power came great responsibility, a responsibility that Alex had once shied away from, but now embraced with a newfound sense of purpose. Melanie stood by his side, her unwavering support a constant source of strength. Together, they would navigate the challenges that lay ahead, determined to uncover the truth and fulfill the destiny that had been laid out before them. Marfa, with her wealth of knowledge and experience, would continue to guide them, sharing her wisdom and helping them harness the power that flowed through Alex's veins. The battle with the ghost had been a mere taste of the powers they would soon wield. As the trio set to work, the castle seemed to hum with a renewed sense of energy, as if the very walls had awakened from a long slumber. The shadows that had once been a source of unease now seemed to whisper of the secrets that awaited them, beckoning them to uncover the true extent of the family's magical legacy. With a deep breath, Alex steeled himself for the journey ahead. He knew that the path would be fraught with challenges, but he was no longer the naive, unaware young man he had once been. He was the heir to a powerful magical lineage, and he was ready to embrace his destiny, no matter the cost. Chapter 10: A New Beginning. Alex stood at the window, gazing out over the vast expanse of the castle grounds. The morning sunlight cast a warm glow across the weathered stones, and he couldn't help but feel a sense of pride and responsibility in being the guardian of this ancient place. It had been a whirlwind of events since the discovery of the mysterious chest and the unveiling of his family's magical legacy. Alex had struggled to come to terms with his newfound powers, the weight of his inherited destiny heavy on his shoulders. But with Melanie's unwavering support and Marfa's wise counsel, he had found the strength to embrace his true identity. Melanie came up beside him, slipping her hand into his. "Are you ready for this?" she asked softly, searching his face. Alex took a deep breath and nodded. "As ready as I'll ever be," he replied, his voice tinged with a mixture of apprehension and determination. The couple turned as they heard the sound of approaching footsteps. Marfa, the sweet elderly lady who had become their trusted ally, entered the room, a small smile playing on her lips. "The castle is secure," she announced, her eyes twinkling with a hint of mischief. "The protective wards are in place, and the ancient artifacts have been safely hidden away." Alex felt a sense of relief wash over him. The battle with the ghost of his ancestor had been harrowing, but Marfa's skill and wisdom had ultimately prevailed. The dark presence that had haunted the castle for generations had been vanquished, and the family's secrets were now safe. "Thank you, Marfa," Melanie said, squeezing Alex's hand. "We couldn't have done this without you." Marfa waved a dismissive hand. "Nonsense, my dear. This is your legacy, your responsibility now." She stepped closer, her eyes filled with a maternal warmth. "Alex, you have come so far in embracing your true nature. I am proud of you." Alex felt a surge of gratitude and humility. "I couldn't have done it without you," he admitted, his voice thick with emotion. "I'm still getting used to all of this, but I'm ready to take on the responsibility." Marfa nodded sagely. "As you should be. The power that flows through your veins is a great gift, but also a great burden. You must use it wisely, always striving to protect the balance between the rational and the supernatural." Melanie squeezed Alex's hand again, her eyes shining with pride. "We're in this together," she murmured, her unwavering support a comfort to him. Alex knew that the road ahead would not be an easy one. The revelation of his magical heritage had opened a door to a world he had never known, and the weight of his family's legacy was a heavy one to bear. But with Melanie by his side and Marfa's guidance, he felt prepared to face whatever challenges lay ahead. "Where do we go from here?" he asked, his gaze shifting between the two women. Marfa smiled enigmatically. "That, my dear boy, is for you to decide. The castle and its secrets are now in your hands. It is time for you to shape your own destiny." Alex felt a surge of both excitement and trepidation. The future was now his to mold, a blank canvas waiting to be filled with the imprint of his choices and actions. He turned to Melanie, his eyes full of hope and determination. "Then let's get to work," he said, his voice carrying a newfound resolve. "There's so much to be done, so many mysteries to unravel. But I'm ready. We're ready." Melanie nodded, her expression mirroring his own. "Together," she affirmed, her hand tightening around his. The three of them stood there, united in their purpose, as the morning sun cast its warm glow over the ancient walls. Alex knew that the journey ahead would not be an easy one, but with the love and support of Melanie and the wisdom of Marfa, he was prepared to embrace his destiny and shape the future of his family's legacy. As they turned and began to explore the castle, Alex couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement and trepidation. The unknown lay before him, but he was no longer the naive young man who had stumbled upon the mysterious chest. He was the rightful heir, the guardian of his family's secrets, and he was ready to face whatever challenges the world of magic had in store. With each step, the weight of his newfound responsibilities grew heavier, but Alex knew that he was not alone. Melanie walked by his side, her hand in his, and Marfa followed closely, offering her guidance and support. Together, they would uncover the castle's deepest mysteries, protect the ancient artifacts, and ensure that the balance between the rational and the supernatural remained intact. As they ventured deeper into the winding corridors, Alex couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder and anticipation. This was his legacy, his birthright, and he was eager to explore its depths and unlock its secrets. The future may have been uncertain, but Alex was ready to face it head-on, embracing the power that flowed through his veins and the responsibility that came with it. The story of the forgotten chest was not yet over. It was simply the beginning of a new chapter, one that Alex and Melanie would write together, with Marfa's wisdom and support to guide them. As they stepped into the unknown, they knew that the weight of the past would shape their future, but it would not define it. They were the masters of their own destiny, ready to forge a new path and leave their mark on the world of magic.